Hi everyone, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Saturday, January 7th of the year 2023, and this is a special edition of my FlossTube channel. This will be a WIP parade that I like to do twice a year to kind of not only just show you guys all my WIPs that I have currently in progress, but also to get an idea of which WIPs I should probably get back to, which ones have gotten more love than others, and that'll give me a general idea of what I need to focus on for the upcoming months. So welcome everybody, welcome back to all my current viewers and subscribers, and thank you as always for your continuing support. If you are visiting for the first time, then welcome. I think this is a good place to start. It's kind of just give you a jump start to getting to know me as a stitcher, my aesthetic and my likes and dislikes. So I do hope you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. And I apologize if I still sound nasally. I'm getting over a cold that ended up being not a cold. I just found out yesterday it was actually COVID. I tested myself towards the beginning and it was negative. Anyway, I am on the mend, so COVID or not COVID, I still feel a lot better today than I did like a week ago. Anyway, I do have my water with me so that I don't cough all over the place on you guys. But we'll try to get through this as smoothly as possible. And I do like to do these in chronological order. I'll start with my oldest WIP, and I'll end with my latest start. And I just realized that my pattern fell from my first one. So without further ado, let's get to the stitching. My oldest WIP that I have so far is a Haid that I started back in August 30th of 2018. This is Mini 1 by Cindy Nielsen. And this one I got as a kit from Haid. She does have the option of, she offers the service, like the full kitting up service. Because this is one of the first, if not the first pattern that I started like this, I went ahead and splurged for it. I haven't done too much since the last time I showed it to you. This is where we're at. I am at 28,800 stitches. I only added 600 stitches since the last time I showed it to you. Again, it's kind of slow going on this one. I do have plans to get back to it this year. Most of the stitching was done on this section right here on the water. I originally wanted to go ahead and finish this side of the water like I did here, and then just keep going down, like finish the water before going back up and stitching her. But I think I may just go ahead and stitch her just for the sake of just moving everything further down. But yeah, not much progress to show this time. So hopefully that'll change for the next WIP parade, but we'll see. School just takes up a lot of my time now. So I may say that I want to stitch all the things, but it ends up not being the case. And I did get this when I got the kit. I got it with the Easy Guide Ada. This is 18 count. Kind of crinkly. I don't like it too much, but again, live and learn. My next WIP is one that I started on January 6th, 2019. She just had a birthday yesterday, and I did stitch on her. She's actually my daily 30 WIP, so I like to work on her at least 30 minutes a day. Turns out being more like 100 stitches, so I can get, especially because this one has a lot of color changes. I do like to add at least 100 stitches every day. Anyway, this is Sleeping Beauty from Stitch Fairy Treasures on Etsy. And I'm doing this one on 18 count Ada as well. This is a white Ada. And this is where we're at so far. I'm gonna try to like not talk as much detail, because this will be a long video. So in terms of like plans and stuff, I'll try to be as brief as possible. Anyway, the last time I showed it to you in the last WIP parade, I don't know if you can tell, this is the page breaks right here. And I kind of sort of had already started on the page, the 8th page here, on the last WIP parade. So I've just, everything you see here pretty much is stuff that I've done since then. I have kept up with 100 daily stitches, so today is January 7th. I've done 700 stitches on her so far this year. So and I recently found out that this is Pattern Keeper compatible now, which is great. Partially. It used to be that you could still add it onto Pattern Keeper, but you couldn't do much with it. You could just highlight it yourself. But now the search function actually works on it, so that's the game changer. So stitching on it is a lot more quicker now. My next piece, oops, almost had an avalanche here. My next piece is a Realist kit that I got as a present from my twin sister. This is Lilac Evening. I started this on February 1st, 2019. And I'm using all the materials that came with it. It came with a 14 count beige Zweigart fabric and anchor floss. So this is where we're at with her. I have gotten quite a bit of work on her done. Last time I showed it to you, I was just finishing up on the hat here, the lace fabric or the see-through fabric on the hat. So pretty much everything that you see here downwards is the new stitching that I've done since then. This is one of my focus pieces for one of my challenge groups in the daily 30. We had to pick 4 focus pieces this time around, and this is one of them. So I've already added 450 stitches on her this year alone, and I hope to add a lot more. I'm hoping that this is going to be one of my first finishes between this one and possibly Sleeping Beauty, but I'm not sure. It's probably gonna be this one because, as you can tell, or maybe not, let me see. Here we go. Side by side comparison. I'm almost done with the stitching. I'm just missing some of the white here for the rest of the lace from the hat, and then maybe like this much of her dress. So I'm almost done with the stitching, and we just have the beading left to do on this one. So hopefully by the next WIP parade, I'll be able to show you and finish on a finish on this one. Next one is another pattern that I found on Etsy. This is Watercolor Floral from Stitchery Stitch, and I started this on May 1st, 2019. This one's also a bit of a slow stitch because it's not, well, I may have to check this one again too, but last time I checked it wasn't compatible with Pattern Keeper. So and the symbols on this pattern, they're all color symbols, so it's really slow going on this one. There hasn't been any change. All that to say, I haven't stitched on this since the last time I showed it to you. This year I would like to go ahead and work on this page, which was my goal for last year. Alas, I didn't get to it, but hopefully this year. And that's on 18 count white Ada. It's gonna be my standard for quite a bit of these. So I only just recently started working with 25 count Lugana, but yeah, practically everything you'll see is going to be an 18 count Ada. My next WIP is one of my biggest pieces. This is Moon Charmer from Amy Stewart, charted by Heather Nurse Designs. Technically it's the selected size, but I might just call it Moon Charmer. I started this on May 20th, 2019. And as I mentioned, I'm doing this on 18 count white Ada. This is also one of my focus pieces for this year. I would like to get to the 33% mark As it is, I'm at 24%. Last time on the last WIP parade, I was at 20%. And now I'm at 24, which is the equivalent of 59,313 stitches. Ironically enough, this was like not intentional at all. I did pretty much an even 10,000 stitches since the last WIP parade. But yeah, here's where we're at so far. The plan is to go ahead and keep stitching on this side towards where the edge of her dress is, and then I'll go back and go to the sky. I'm trying to not leave all the black for last, because if you've been around, you'll remember that was a thing for several of my WIPs, and it was not a good time. Next up is another Etsy pattern. This is one that I started back in October 28th, 2019. This is Flowers of the Alphabet from Lemonade on Etsy. This one has not gotten any progress at all since the last time I showed it to you, which is why I'm officially scrapping it. I'm UFOing it. It just hasn't called to me for forever. I was using some D-Stash everything on this one. I wasn't going with the cult for colors. I was just kind of going by what I had available to use up some loose end threads. Even the fabric was D-Stash. I don't know where I got the fabric from, but I haven't stitched on it in forever, so I'm not gonna do anything with it anymore. I'll just move on to other things. The next pattern that I started is, and you'll see several of these, just a heads up. It's one of my favorites, favorite combinations. This is Wonder Woman, Warrior Princess. Artist is Daniel Kordick, and it's charted by Tilton Crafts. So you'll see a lot of Kordick's artwork in this parade. I do enjoy it very much. This I started on November 1st, 2019, using a white 18 count data. And this is where we're at right now. According to my notes, I did 1,900 stitches since the last time I showed it to you. I'm currently at 19,700 stitches. So this is where we're at. I still stuck, even though I wanted to get into her hair and try to stitch her face now, I still ended up just working on the background. Maybe this year will be the year to get to her face and peep the Wonder Woman needle minder from Stitch and Button to match. But yeah, this is actually the WIP Go piece for this month. This one and Mini One have been called for this month, so hopefully that'll be incentive to work on it a little bit more. Next one is again another Tilton Crafts with Daniel Kordick. This is Esmeralda, one of my favorite characters from Disney. I started this shortly after I started Wonder Woman. I started this on November 6th, 2019. And again, I'm using 18 count white Aida, and I'm trying to make sure that I have all my information available. I only added 1,000 stitches on this since the last time I showed it to you, mostly on the yellow. I'm currently sitting at 17,100 stitches on this. I'm trying to have this one and Wonder Woman kind of go hand in hand, since I did start them at the same time. I may just focus on one though and finish one before the other. I'm not sure. But I am enjoying this piece. I do love the colors. So, and it's good to have the variety, you know, because like I got a little bit tired of the reds, so I said, I'll just start on the yellows. And I don't know if I forgot to mention, but the tambourine is right here. So she's already coming in. I think that's a tambourine. Pretty sure. So that's coming up soon as well. Next up is another Chilton Crafts. This is Snow Girl. Artwork is by Daniel Kordek, and this one I started on November 23rd of 2019. So these were all started pretty much back to back. And this is also done on an 18 count white Aida. This one hasn't gotten too much love. I added 500 something stitches, I think, since the last time I showed it to you. So I'm at 21,573. I did this for a challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics where we had to do, I'm pretty sure it was 21,000 stitches in 2021. Might have been 20 and 20, I'm not sure. But point being is I did that for this with this WIP, and then I never really got back to it. So and I thought, oh, let me do the apples so that I can get away from the grays and the whites that I was doing. But now that just means that I have a lot more grays and whites to work with now. So we'll see. Next one is another Haid. This is June from Anna Dittman. I started this on November 26th, 2019. I started this in honor of Lady Wing Designs' birthday, Zakia from Lady Wing Designs. And again, this was started on 18 count Aida. It's all the Aida. I didn't know any better. This is this is massive. This is the edge, and then it goes over here. It's huge. But this is where we're at. There hasn't been any change. I'm still sitting at 10,000 stitches on this one. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So yeah, no change. Nothing to report on this one. But hopefully that'll change, right? Hopefully by next time I'll have some stitches added. Last year I tried doing a challenge where I would do 1,000 stitches on each one of my WIPs. That ended up not happening. So this year I've decided to tone it down a little and do 500 stitches instead. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The next one is another Etsy pattern. This is, well, I like to call it my Disney villain ladies. The Etsy shop is Zana Cross Stitch. I don't think the pattern had an official name, but so it was. I started this on January 17th, 2020. And this is where we're at right now. So since the last time I showed it to you, I think I did do the 1,000 stitches on this one. I finished up some skin tones in Ursula, well, skin tones, purples, right? And then added those to her hair as well. So there's some texture in there. As it is, I have 4,000 stitches done on her panel. The pattern is split up into four. So four patterns, and you can stitch them individually or you can stitch them together. So on her pattern, it shows that I have 25% done, but that's just on her alone. So hopefully this year I'll be able to finish another panel. I would like to finish her as well. Next up is a pattern that I started again with Zakia from Lady Wing Designs. This is Change of Seasons 2 from Mystic Stitch. And we started this on Leap Day, February 29th, 2020. The goal was to finish it by February 29th of 2028. So, but we'll see. Because I was pretty good about stitching on this on a regular basis, and then I just fell off the wagon. This is where we're at so far. I haven't added any more stitches since the last time I showed it to you. Originally, I thought it'd be cool to stitch on each season as the year went, But obviously, I mean, I haven't even started the summer season, so that hasn't been a thing anymore. I'm currently sitting at 23,639 stitches. So hopefully I'll be able to add those 500 stitches on this one, at least, if not more. Because it is one of my larger pieces as well, so I do want to make more progress on it. Next up is a design that I started back in May 14th, 2020. This is Katrina from Yanni Stitcher here on FlossTube. And I am doing this on a D-stash, my D-stash version, I guess. I'm doing this on a 14 count Ada that I found. That's, I don't know, off-white beige color type of thing. Last time I showed it to you, I was still in the middle of frogging. I originally started doing her face paint because the pattern is charted so that you can do it on white. So the face paint is actually not charted. It's not like it's a white color. But because I'm using another color fabric, I do need to add those white stitches. I ended up messing up on the counting several times, so I had to frog it all. And then at that point, I just didn't want to deal, so I started with the crown instead. So I'm halfway done with the crown-ish. And then I also fixed the flag up here. The purple flag was also not done correctly. And I think I added this flag as well since the last time I showed it to you. So hopefully this year I'll finish it. I would like to finish it before September, since September for Mexican Independence Day. It's a fairly quick stitch. It's one of those things, one of those designs that shouldn't have taken me this long, which is also the theme of this year. The theme of 2023 is finishing all the patterns that shouldn't have taken me this long. So that's one of them. The next one I'm going to show you is one that if you saw my last WIP parade, you'll see that I was extremely close to finishing it. I did ended up finishing it within 2 or 3 days after filming. It is Mini Midnight Stroll from Heaven Earth Designs. Artist is Julie Fane. And this is as much as you're getting today, unfortunately. You can always go back to the other parade and see, because it was practically done. I had like this tiny little corner to go last time I showed it to you, so it was practically finished. So I did end up finishing it on July 2nd. I started on May 21st, 2020, and I finished it on July 2nd, 2022. Next piece is Dimensions Kit that I started on May 22nd on 2020, so day after starting the fairy. I started this one, this mason jar lineup. This pattern was fairly popular a couple of years ago. I couldn't find it because it was so popular, it kept going out of stock. And for this one, I am using the materials that came with the kit. So I'm doing this on a 14 count white Ada, and I'm using the floss that came with it. I haven't added any more stitches since the last time I showed it to you. This is as far as I've gotten. I'd like to at least finish this first jar this year, and then maybe keep going, because clearly I've got quite a bit to go on this one. Also, Needle Minder by Stitching Buttons, one of my favorites. I think it's funny. Next one is one that I started again a couple of days afterwards. This is Sea Glass from Carolyn Manning. I started this on May 24th of the year 2020. A lot of us started one of her designs for what we call the Manic Manning style. And because again, May is mania, so we all decided to start something. And I'm happy to say that I finished it. I finished this on December 8th, 2022. If you were following me, if you've been following me for the last year, you'll know that I specifically took the wanted to take this piece and finish it by December by cutting it up or dividing it into 12 different sections. So I do a section a month, so that by the end of the year I would have a finish. So I like to take care of that first thing at the beginning of each month. So by the 8th of December, I had it finished. I think I'm gonna have to iron it, give it another wash and iron it again, so I can frame it. But yeah, I did this on 18 count white Ada as per usual. This was one of my 7 finishes of the year. Next up is a pattern that I started in June. I have it as June 2nd, 2020. And I'm gonna have to show you the PDF without showing you the pattern. Let's not do that thing. Here we go. This is Relentless from Ink Circles. I started this on June 2nd, 2020. And I also started this with Zakia from Lady Wing Designs. For this one, I am trying to do all the black first, which somebody mentioned, like, you're crazy for doing it like this. But I don't mind it. It's Pattern Keeper compatible now, so it goes by a lot quicker. And I'm doing this with an 18 count Silk Weaver fabric that I had lying around. I'm not sure what the name of the color is, but it's got mostly yellowish tints. This is where it's so far. According to Pattern Keeper, I am at 26% done. I think since the last time I showed it to you, just based on how much I've been working on this the last couple of months, I think I may have added 4,000 stitches since the last time I showed it to you in the last WIP parade. So I've got maybe 16 or 1700 stitches left in black. So hopefully I can get that done this year, if not more. I would like to finish, again, one of those patterns that I can't believe have taken me this long. So maybe finish the black within January and February and just take a couple months because it only has 8 colors. So I can take a month or 2 to work on a single color, and hopefully by the end of the year have another finish. Next one is another Hade. This is Mini Soaring Free 2. Artist is Joan Marie, and I started this on June 13th, 2020. Again, fairly popular design. I've seen a lot of people that are working on this one. Some people have finished it as well. I have not worked on this since the last time I showed it to you. I'm still sitting at 2,585 stitches. I am doing this on 25 count easy guide or easy grid. I think it's easy grid. I'm not sure, but y'all know what I mean. I think it's magic guide and then easy grid. I think that's how the names go. But yeah, hopefully by next time I'll show you some progress on this one too. Next one up is the companion piece to June. This is July from Heaven Earth Designs. The artist is also Anna Dittman. And I started this on June 24th, 2020. I want to say I started with test stitches here on FlossTube. And again, not any progress to show. I don't even know how this goes. This is supposed to be a top right corner, so I think it goes this way. I'm still sitting at 4,400 stitches. So again, no change since the last time I showed it to you, but hopefully that'll change. It doesn't even look like much because it's all just whites and light yellows and light pinks. So go figure. Next one is another design from Anna Dickman's artwork. This is T, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, inspired by the BBC series Sherlock. This is Benedict Cumberbatch as the title character. One of my all-time favorite series. Well, the first couple of seasons were good. The second two, not so much, but that's fine. Anyway, this also hasn't gotten too much progress. I haven't stitched on this since last time I showed it to you. I'm still sitting at 2,200 stitches, 2,276 to be exact. So this is his watch right here, and the outline for his hand. But yeah, that's it. That's what I've got so far. And I started this on July 1st. 2020. And again, 18 count white Ada. Next up is a pattern that I started on my birthday, also my twin's birthday. It's July 13th, 2020. This is the Eternal Promise. Artwork is by Matt Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is going to be for my twin. This is one of my second largest piece to date. Since the last, and this one has gotten quite a bit of work done, since it is one of my largest pieces, so I want to make sure that I get constant work on it. Last time I showed it to you was at 23,759 stitches, and I'm now at that's the needle minder going crazy. Hang on. I'm now at 36,414 stitches. Let's see if I can not have this fly around all over the place. This is where we're at so far. It's a difference of 12,654 stitches. I'm at 8.23% right now. So here we are. I'd like to reach at least 10% this year. The goal is to add at least 3,000 stitches every month on this one. So, and this is a needle minder / frogger from Stitching Button. Again, the ring, the one ring to rule them all, to match. So yeah, so again, lots of progress on this one. So I can finish it, within my lifetime for my sister. and another one done on the 25 count easy guide. And then on the same day, I started one project for my sister, and I started one project for myself for our birthday. This is Portrait of Veronica. Artist is Nora Corbett for Mirabilia. This is the first Mirabilia I've ever started. And for this one, I did go and buy my first even weave. This is a 32 count Lugana called Fairy Meadow from Youthful Hands Sunny Dyes. And they've since gone out of business. They're no longer around. But this is where we're at so far. Since the last time I showed it to you, I finished up with the black ribbons up here. And I've also started on the lighter section of her dress. So just like I did with Sea Glass, with splitting up a design into 12 sections, I've done the same with her now. So hopefully by December she will be finished. And this is already starting January's portion right here. So again, hopefully even by the next WIP parade in the summertime, you'll see lots of progress on her. So quite excited, because I have started a couple more fancy ladies since then. So I'm like, okay, if I'm starting some, then I have to finish at least one. And I think Vicky from Reading and Stitching started with me as well. So we're both working on her at our own pace, of course, but we have her as a WIP. Next one that I started was actually a gift from Candace. Slutlord Stitches, I think is her handle on Instagram. She gifted me the chart and then we both started it together. This is Till Death Do Us Part from Chilton Crafts. Again, artwork by Daniel Kordek. We started this on July 16th, 2020. And not obviously, but it's inspired by one of my favorite Tim Burton movies called Corpse Bride. Actually, no, it's not Tim Burton. Is it Tim Burton? Not quite sure. Anyway, this is what I've gotten done so far. According to my notes, I have done 3,200 stitches. 3,200 stitches since I last showed it to you. I'm currently sitting at 13,758 stitches on this one. So I think most, if not all, of the stitching was done here to continue working on the black background, because I don't want to leave that for last. But I may have also added some stitching on his face as well. I don't remember how it looked like on the last WIP braid. Usually I'm pretty good about it, but not this time, I guess. So yeah, so it got some progress over the course of the last 6 months or so. And again, I hope that it'll get at least 500 stitches done this year, if not more. Next up is a piece that I started on the same day, July 16th, 2020. This is 3 Things Sampler from Moira Blackburn. I started this for Laurel Ann's birthday here on FlossTube. She was working on this. I saw this as one of her WIPs and I fell in love with it. So she had a sale going for her birthday. You could either start the same chart that she was starting, but I decided to work on this, start this. This one has also not gotten too much love since the last time I showed it to you. This is what we're at right now. I am working on a 14 count cappuccino froth from Fiona's Craft Cottage. And since the last time I showed it to you, again, not too much progress. I filled in this flower here, and I think I may have done a bit of the top border as well. Currently working, or have the stem left to do, so I can keep going on the rest of the flowers. And I also started on the flower pots then here. So, ideally, because I keep saying, I think I said it last time too, ideally by the end of the year I would like to have this top section done. Because otherwise it's just never gonna get finished. Okay, next up is a pattern that I started the day after. Just lots of starts that July apparently. And we were in the middle of the pandemic, like this is when I first started, so we were bored. This is Fractal Energy from Chilton Crafts. The artist is Nathan Smith. I started this on July 17th, 2020, and I'm also doing this on an 18 count Ada. I have done 1,000 stitches on this one since the last time I showed it to you. I think most, if not all of it, was done on the black. I may have done some of the blue as well, but this is where we're at. And this is an easy piece to stitch on when I don't want to look at the pattern much when I'm watching TV or something. I literally just stitch the border of the black outline and just go nuts, right? I just have to fill in. So this is where we're at. I'm sitting at 12,389 stitches on this one. Hopefully more progress next time. Next piece is another Chilton Crafts Designs. This is Cinderella from Daniel Kordek, inspired by the Disney film from 2015, the live action film that came out in 2015. I like that movie. The movie holds a very special place in my heart. So I knew I had to stitch this one up. And I started this on 18 count white Aida on July 18th. And I added, again, 1,000 stitches on this one. I tried to add 1,000 stitches on some of my projects. So I'm currently sitting at 4,100 stitches on this one. And not much to show. It's still lots of blues, lots of blue background for this one. So if I ever feel like working on blue, I can pull her up. Next one that I have is mini mauve irises. It's another one of my Heaven and Earth Designs charts. The artist is Mary Broom, and I am doing this one on 25 count easy count, I don't know. But I haven't worked on this since the last time I showed it to you. I'm still sitting at 2,100 stitches on this one. This is what it looks like. I keep playing with the idea of parking my threads. I like the aesthetic of it, but ultimately the hanging threads end up just, driving me insane. So I think next time I pick it up, I'm gonna just go ahead and use up these hanging threads so they're out of the way, and then just keep working on it. Okay, I think I'm just going to stop right here. I do have more WIPs to show you, but I think this is a good stopping point right now. We're almost at 42 minutes. So thank you for sticking around this time. If you want to take a break, feel free. I'm gonna go ahead and just stop recording and then immediately start with part 2. As always, I'll try to have the information for the WIPs down below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, see you in part 2. Ciao!